Welcome y'all to the front porch on WWCB 1370 Kickin' Country. Come on up, sit a spell. We have great music, good conversation, and a whole lot of fun. Now look here, it's your hosts, the front porch rockers, Connie, Rose, and Margaret. Ladies, take it away.
Hi folks, here we are today on the front porch at WWCB Radio AM 1370, and the song that opened up our segment today was by Howard Blumenthal and Mary Siepierski, and the name of it was, Howard, what was the name of it again?
Mississippi Sawyer.
Mississippi Sawyer, and wasn't that wonderful? On that note, I'm going to pass this over to Margaret. Margaret, do you have any special questions for our guests today?
Well, we have Howard Blumenthal and Mary Siepierski today, and we're really excited. It's a breath of fresh air for our community today because they bring some expertise to us. And we want to know all about your music and your instruments and what's a Mississippi Sawyer? What's that mean?
That's a good question. What is a Mississippi Sawyer?
Do we know?
Well, it has something to do with the lumber industry, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
The tune is probably at least 150 years old, maybe more. I'm sure it probably predates the Civil War. It's probably a tune that just came out of the hills, and we still play it.
And they're wonderful.
Well, those tunes are not 150 years old for no reason. Right? If a tune's going to stick around, a good one is going to stick around for 150 years, it's going to be a good tune. Right?
There's a lot that are old that we have that we
Yeah.
play every week,
Exactly.
every day.
And why do you play them?
Because
you
they're
love 'em,
wonderful
and
songs.
They're great old songs.
Yes.
Right? Exactly.
So you play a lot of old-time music, and exactly what's the old-time music?
Mary, what's old-time music?
Old-time music is American folk music. It's kind of specific to, I think it started in the South, right, Howard? It's mostly just a collection of tunes and a style of playing that this community has developed around. People gather from all over the country to play these tunes, this music in this style, and it's mostly old-time music is a good time.
It seems to me that if you know the song, you can go anywhere, and maybe to Scotland and Ireland, and everybody knows the same tune.
That's exactly right, and that's what makes the community great. You can go. Mary was just in Mount Airy, North Carolina last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us about
What
it.
were you doing?
There's an old-time fiddle festival down there called Mount Airy Fiddlers Gathering. It's an old-time music
Been
festival.
going on for
Been going on
50 or more years.
a long time. I'm not sure how many, but it's people come from all over the country to Mount Airy to camp at the fairgrounds in the heat, in the rain, all for the sake of playing
Music.
this music.
With
Yes.
each other.
With each
Yes.
other.
With the community.
Mm-hmm.
You can show up at Mount Airy and not know anybody, join a jam, and have 20 friends by the time you leave.
But you know the tunes.
Yes, you
right?
all know the tune.
So that's the glue
Yes.
that binds the community together and just makes it a lot of fun. And
Well, Howard, you're playing fiddle.
I'm playing a fiddle, and Mary's playing a banjo. I'm fairly new to the fiddle. I was not classically trained. I started teaching myself how to play the fiddle when I was 40 years old.
Oh.
And
So that was just last week.
Like
Howard,
yesterday.
how wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, really, I don't even want to tell you how old I am.
Okay.
But I am going to be 70 this year.
Well, we know you're a fabulous fiddle
And
player.
so that means I've been playing the fiddle for 30 years, probably incorrectly, the whole time. But at least people aren't going to be able to see how I'm playing it on the radio, right?
We don't care.
So I'm a
We don't.
representative of the old generation that's on their way out. And Mary, who's a newly minted PA, she works in the Bradford Hospital. She's representative of the young generation that's just coming up and getting interested in this stuff.
What style of banjo were you playing on that song?
I am playing claw hammer banjo, which is very specific to old time music. It's one
Yeah.
of the things that really sets old time apart from bluegrass. In the bluegrass style, they have the Scruggs thing with this
Yes.
rolling motion with
Finger picks.
three finger picks, 3 fingers at a time. They do these kind of arpeggiated
Mhm.
chords. In old time music, we play claw hammer banjo. You kind of make a C shape with your hand, have your thumb kind of plucking the drone string throughout the whole time, and you only use down strokes to make noise. So it's the banjo is kind of as close to a percussion instrument as we get in old time, aside from flatfoot dancing. And it's very rhythmic, and you can sometimes also introduce some melody too. So
That's what I love about the claw hammer. It's both rhythm and melody in
I
one
see.
instrument. So if you want to sing a song, you can just keep it simple and do the rhythm stuff. But the better you get, you're starting to put in some melody notes with your other fingers. It's just a lovely instrument.
It is.
Let's-
It is.
Let's hear a song.
Yes.
Okay.
And tell us what the name of it is, and something about
All right. All right. Well, let's see. Well, we'll start with Mississippi Sawyer. We'll do that twice,
Okay.
and then we'll go into a song called Liberty, which is an old fiddle tune from, who knows, probably 1800s, somewhere in there. So
both really classic.
these are classic tunes. These are tunes that, when you're beginning to learn these tunes, these are a couple of the first ones that you'll probably want to learn. All right, Mississippi Sawyer. We'll do it twice. Ah! See?
I
was
saw you put your
wonderful.
foot out, Howard. Why did you put your foot out?
That's the universal sign that the song is ending.
I see. So everyone in the group knows this is the last time around.
That's exactly right.
There's nothing worse than a group drizzling to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, you
And
want
that
to
way
have-
everybody knows.
Right.
Well, you know
So
what?
my
I
fiddling
see
is pretty scratchy.
On your fiddle, you have
I have 5 strings on
strings.
this fiddle, yeah. Which is probably not really traditional. And plus, a lot of the old-time fiddlers tune their fiddles just like they tune their banjos. And I don't. I just play out of standard tuning. And, I just feel really self-conscious about my fiddling because it's just not really clean and nice. But, that's what old-time fiddling is. It's scratchy. And but rhythmical. Back in the day, you were lucky to get a fiddler, and you were very lucky to get a banjo and a fiddler in a living room for a dance.
Wow.
And so, this combination is sort of the classic combination for old time.
Well, you don't know how encouraging that information is. I've only been playing 3 years, and I have quite a little bit of trouble. And to be encouraged to say that it's okay is kind of nice.
Yeah, you just got to play and have fun with it. And the thing is, you got to keep at it. It really took me about 10 years to come out of the. I wasn't really in a closet, but I was in my garage for 10 years. The first 10 years I was playing the fiddle. But I had played the mandolin and the guitar before that, so I had something to base it on, but still.
Well, it seems to me the music is kind of fast.
Well, those two were fast dance tunes meant to be square danced to.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what these old time sessions are. Tell them a little bit about, like, when you're in the middle of an old time session, the feelings.
It's very hypnotic. You get into these tunes, and it's just beautiful how you can take a simple melody and you apply the style and you apply the community and the camaraderie and the combination of instruments.
And you play it 30 times. No, not really, but play it over and over and over.
Sometimes you do play it for 20 or more minutes. You get into these festivals in the middle of the night, out in the woods, and you're just playing them over and over again, and you get lost in them, and it's really beautiful. It's such an amazing feeling.
Well put.
Sounds like a wonderful thing to become involved in.
It definitely is.
And speaking of festivals,
Yes.
I have a festival that I have been putting on for many years. Actually, I've only been doing the music part of this festival. So I've been doing the music part of this festival maybe for 30 years. It's at the Crook Farm in Bradford, and the dates are August 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, at the end of August this year. So if anybody's interested in hearing more of this old-time music, we have a flat footer coming in from Cleveland who's going to be teaching people how to dance. We've got some plywood boards set out and lots of fiddlers around. There's a group called the Lackawanna Longnecks coming up from Pittsburgh who specialize in Pennsylvania fiddle tunes.
Oh my goodness.
So they're going to be playing Pennsylvania fiddle tunes all weekend at the Crook Farm. And so we have a stage that goes for 5 hours on Saturday, 5 hours on Sunday. If you just want to sit and listen to the music, we have 4 or 5 or more jam sessions going on at once. We have a song tent where we sing songs, and so it depends. No matter what you're interested in, you can usually find something at the Crook Farm. So if people are interested, they can go to crooktop.com.
Hey.
CROOKTOP.com.
And they'll find all the information.
Yeah, and I stole that name. There's the most famous festival in old-time music is Cliff Top.
Oh,
it
yes.
happens in West Virginia. All right? Happens at the end of July, beginning of August time frame. And how many times have you been to Cliff Top, Mary?
I think like 3 or 4 now.
Yeah.
It's a real experience. It goes for 10 days, and you just are out in the woods playing old time music in West Virginia, and it's
Exactly.
It's
And there's no star. There's no big name band there. Right?
Mm.
The point of it is the musicians come from all over the country to play with each other.
That's wonderful.
There's
Well-
a main stage, but all they have is the competitions, and anybody can enter that. You can enter a band yourself, so it's just your friends up there.
Well, we're coming to Crook Farm, and we're going to
yes,
play
you
on
are. You
Saturday.
guys are going to be playing on
Yes,
Saturday.
we are. This is going to be exciting.
And-
I've never done this before.
And Howard, you played with the Hooligans last year.
I did.
That was
thank
quite
you.
an experience, wasn't it?
Let's see. Your fiddler crapped out on you, as I remember.
This is
yeah.
true.
I did my best.
Well,
to,
thank
You did a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, because we just threw music at you that you really hadn't, you didn't, I mean, you knew most of the music. I think you'd heard most of the songs,
Right.
but you weren't used to playing, and you'd never played with us, and we didn't rehearse, and
To me, that's
it was
the fun
great.
of it. I would rather do something like that, an informal, just get together and get up and play. And the point of it is, it's never perfect. And when you make a mistake, you have
that's the fun.
have a good laugh
Yes,
about it.
yes.
And it's folk music.
Yes.
You know,
it
this
is.
is not Tchaikovsky.
Yeah.
Right. there's a
shooting.
whole different feel. For me, because I was trained on piano classically, that you have to play every note exact as it is written, and you even, I mean, in terms of how loud or soft you get or what
Yeah.
you do, it has to be somebody, it's the interpretation.
So you
that
were
they
paper
want.
trained.
So, absolutely, but what that
Now, is that on the order of house broken? Oh,
You know-
excuse me, we're talking music.
You know, people say, "Well, I was classically trained, but not so bad that it spoiled my playing. I can still play."
Well, some of that's true. What I find is because of that, because it was instilled in me, I still cannot break loose
Yeah,
from it
exactly.
and just improvise.
Right.
Where somebody who came from a different background can do a lot of improv, and you can put yourself into the music. So you can slow it a little bit if you feel like it. You can add a few notes here if you want
Yeah.
to. And because it's music that came from the people, by the people, for the people, it's a really it's relaxing. It's
Right.
not.
Well, it's folk
not-
music. It's not meant to be perfect. It's
Right.
comes from it. And the point of the festival that I do is that everybody can participate in one way or another. Okay, if you can play an instrument, fine. If you're just learning to play an instrument, sit in the background and maybe find a few chords or a few notes that fit in, or sing a harmony if you can find a note or whatever.
Right.
The point is participating.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the
and
fun.
it's great.
That's the fun.
Right.
How long, Mary? How long have you been involved in music?
I started playing probably, I think I was 16 or 17 when I started playing the mandolin. My brother's been one of those kids who started when he was 4 years old playing the violin, and now he's a great old-time fiddler. But I myself didn't start till he got a mandolin, and I really liked it. And so I picked it up and started playing, learning some. Now I kind of evolved. I don't play the mandolin anymore.
Oh.
It evolved to fiddle, and now to banjo, and I do play a little bit of fiddle still. But yeah, I can't. Kind
What
of
is it
came to
about the
later.
banjo that sucked you in, so to speak? Why do you play the banjo?
I honestly don't know why it's my favorite. I guess it comes to me a little bit easier and is more fun to me than the other instruments. It doesn't feel like it fights with me as much. So I don't know if that's specific to the banjo or my relationship with it, but that's how I feel about it.
Well, that's interesting. Like on the other instruments, these tunes do have notes. Well, you need to find most of the notes, right? On the banjo, you don't really need to find most of the notes to play it really good. You can play the chords and the rhythm,
Or
Just-
any combination of
or
them
a
and melody.
combination, and you can, as you're getting better, you add more melody notes. So it can be really good and satisfying. Even
One thing that has attracted me to the banjo is that you can't walk past it. If it's sitting beside your piano
Really?
and your other instruments are all there, especially if you should happen to brush past some of the strings, you can't literally walk away from the banjo. You have to pick it
Mary
up.
feels the same way, and she can't stop buying banjos.
Well, the coffee's ready, so I think we're going to take a short break. Folks, you go and have your favorite drink. We're going to have coffee, and we'll be right back at WWCB 1370 AM on the radio.
This will just be a quick break, so stay right here on our front porch. Right here on WWCB 1370 Kickin' Country. Thanks for sticking with us. Now let's get back to the front porch with Connie, Rose, and Margaret right here on AM 1370 Kickin' Country.
Welcome back, and if you're just tuning in to WWCB AM 1370 on your radio, we are the Front Porch Rockers, and we're sitting on the front porch today with Howard Blumenthal and Mary Siepierski. Excuse me, Mary, for being tongue-tied at times. But Howard, what song are you going to play for us now?
Well, we play for dances once in a while. Mary and I played up Dance in Buffalo with a couple of folks from Jamestown, Don and Steve Strum, you know those guys, right? Steve Strum plays guitar, and Don plays, his dad plays bass. So we have a little band, Mary and I, and Steve and Don,
Nice.
called the Southern Tears String Band. Anyway, we played the Buffalo Contra Dance, I don't know, when was it? Last month or whatever. Anyway, there's a set of tunes that we play for dancers. We'll just do them twice each. The first one is called Shove That Pig's Foot a Little Further Into the Fire. And the second one is called The Gal I Left Behind Me. So this is Shove That Pig's Foot into the Gal I Left Behind Me.
Wow, yeah, good. So do you go to the Warren Jam over?
Yeah, there is a Jam in Warren every Sunday. And I go every week. Mary goes sometimes. She sometimes has to work on Sundays. She's still in that mode, I guess. But yeah, every Sunday at the Total Evolution Cafe, downtown Warren, from 1:30 to 4:30. And it's a really nice jam because we get a very good mix of musicians. And it's not just old-time banjo fiddle stuff. There will be some Irish tunes, and we'll sing some sometimes, depending on who comes. And last week was great. There was probably 10 or 15 people, maybe 12 people in the circle. We go around the circle. You pick a tune or a song.
Oh, really?
And then everybody plays it along with you. And then you go to the next person in the circle. And it's that kind of a jam. It's very inclusive.
Where do you get your music? That kind of stops you in your tracks a little bit.
Where do we get our music?
Do you have music?
No, well, some people have a little bit of music on their iPads. Some people, if they're playing chords and they're not sure of them, they have the iPads and they've got some of the tunes. But most of the players just play by ear from the tunes they know.
And how did they learn them?
It's an oral tradition. You learn from somebody's got to teach them to. You got to hear them and then play them from there. Definitely part of the tradition of old time music. Although not everything in the Warren Jam is old time, but
It is an oral tradition, and sometimes I can remember sometimes when I play a tune, I remember the person I've learned it from. It could be 30, 40 years ago, but I remember them teaching it to me, and I remember. So it's like sometimes visiting an old friend when you bring back an old tune like that.
Wow.
The internet's kind of changed the oral tradition a little bit. You don't necessarily need to go see these fiddlers to be able to learn from them now, which is nice. Every fiddle tune ever up there on the internet, which is really great. I feel like musicians today have a lot bigger repertoire, although it has also kind of blurred some of the regional styles a little bit, but overall I think it's a good thing.
Wow. Well, let's hear another.
Okay. Before I forget, also, we have a jam in Bradford every Tuesday and Thursday evening. It's not this kind of music, it's more country songs. Early country from 30s, 40s, 50s. Well, we sort of end with Johnny Cash and, into the 60s sometimes, but a lot of Hank Williams stuff, a lot of Carter family. Anyway, that's Tuesday and Thursday at the Crook Farm on Seward Avenue in Bradford. We start at 7:30, go to 10:30. There again, we're sitting in sort of we do have a sound system. We try to make it all acoustic, but we do have microphones for people so they can sing. And there again, we just go around in a circle. Whoever wants to sing a song starts it up, and we all join in.
Do you think the old-time music is hard to learn or hard to play?
No, I think it's easy to play.
Okay.
That's why everybody plays it, because it's easy. If it was hard, nobody could do it. That's why I do it. I saw somebody playing old-time music, and I said, geez, I think I could even do that.
I find it easier to play the older music than the new music.
The old music tends to be somewhat more, it's simpler. Sometimes 3-4 chords, and that's it. But look, that's all you need.
And it has a good sound.
I know, that's what they call it. Country music is 3 chords and the truth.
What do you say to playing some Red Wing?
Okay.
Red Wing, okay, so,
One of my favorite songs.
all right.
Such a happy little tune.
It is.
Yeah, so this was repurposed during the Depression as Indian Made and a Union song. Woody Guthrie repurposed it. But anyway, the melody goes back, let's see, not that far. Actually, it was written by somebody in the early 1900s. Anyway, KG. How's it go? I got it. Hang on.
What nice. Very nice.
See, now
No
normally
slippers.
harmonies wouldn't be allowed in old time music. No,
They're not?
see,
Really?
No, but that's why I got the 5-string fiddle, so I could do some low harmonies and things like that. Because I guess I get a little bit bored playing the same notes over and over again.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Traditional old time music would not have harmonies in it. Wouldn't have minor chords in it either.
Oh my
Really?
goodness.
It's old time.
I didn't.
Because some of the old,
Know that.
I mean, some of the
Some of the
music
old-
time, that music that's been written, I think more recently, has a lot of minor chords. in
Ah,
it.
yeah.
Some of the Irish,
Yes. But old time, this is American old time, Southern old time, based around traditions that come from the North Carolina, and Georgia, Mississippi, the South, really.
The Blue Ridge Mountains and the Appalachian Mountains.
Yes, Appalachian.
No harmony.
Not generally, no. So I violated some rules there on that last tune. Sorry.
Wow.
My apologies to the old
You
time.
don't need to apologize to me. I love harmony. In fact, I play harmony. Maybe that's why I get funny looks sometimes.
Yeah. yeah.
Oh,
So, Mary, what is one of your favorite songs on the banjo?
My favorite song on the banjo. Oh goodness, that's got to change all the time. But I guess my favorite song right now is the one we played earlier in the show, Mississippi Sawyer. I love that tune. I like happy tunes, happy dorky tunes like that. So that's probably.
Oh, you know what? One of my favorite tunes lately is a West Virginia tune
What's that?
called Moon Behind the Hill.
oh,
Okay, let's play it.
Right, and I learned this, I don't know, a couple years ago. So, yeah. Let's see, how's it go? All right, here we go. I have to get these tunes in my head and under my finger.
I know.
It's almost a polka.
Oh,
And it's sort of an unusual West Virginia tune. It's pretty happy tune. Speaking of happy tunes.
yeah. So there's an instrument back there. What's
Yeah. Well, I play the mandolin when I do my country. I play fiddle when I do old time and mandolin when I do country. I started on the guitar when I was 20 or so, and then picked up the mandolin. So I don't know if you guys want to
Sure.
sing a
We do.
song.
Yeah.
We could.
Do you have your guitar? Does somebody have a guitar?
You want to
Margaret
borrow mine?
has.
Oh, it would really sound better
Okay.
if we had a guitar, or I could play the guitar, or I'll play
All
mandolin.
right. I'll get it.
One of the things I wanted to say, Howard, was that we've been trying to encourage people who haven't played music for a while, maybe took some lessons when they were children, but then hadn't, to pick up an instrument and play. And I think to hear you say, like, that you started playing guitar when you were 20, but you didn't play the fiddle until you were 40, is really very encouraging. I was at a jam Monday night, I guess, and one of the women came who does not play an instrument, and she said, I wish I could do that. I wish I could learn, but I think I'm too old. And we were like, oh no, you're never too old to learn. Just, pick it up and do something.
And don't you think music is universal?
Absolutely. And it's especially easy to pick up if you've been trained. Like, a lot of people had piano lessons when they were a kid, right?
Right.
And then somehow, they had kids and jobs and got away from it. Getting back to it when you're an adult, you don't forget that stuff. It's back there. Your brain is wired with it, and when you come back to it, you can build on that. So if you've always wanted to play an instrument, grab it.
I never picked up a guitar until I was 32, and like Rose said, somebody just said, you're never too old, and I thought at 32 I was too old to play an instrument, and now I'm just a couple years older than 32 and still enjoying it.
Look at all the fun you've had.
I know.
Right, and you can waste a lot of time saying, I don't have the talent to do that, and I just can't.
What if I make a mistake?
Exactly.
Nobody really cares.
Howard has a motto that I've really taken to heart that is dare to suck, and
I have a T-shirt at home that says "Dare to Suck."
It really, when you come into music, you just have to set that self-consciousness aside, and you have to get out there and play with people. It's how you're going to learn, and you have to just allow yourself to not always play it perfectly. And
if you make a mistake, you keep on going, because lots of times the people that are listening to the music don't know you made that mistake. They thought it was just part of it.
Right?
But one thing I found was the people that you're playing with are a certain kind of person who are very supportive and encouraging.
That's the community.
And that's the community that carries and holds your trampoline.
Exactly. And that's why I do this music.
Yes.
Some people do, I don't know why other people do the music and why they do it, but I know why I do it. And it's the only social life that I've ever really been successful at. It's my social life.
That's right.
it. I go out 4, 5, 6 nights a week,
Yes.
play with friends, feel good about it, and that's it. The rest of the time I just stay home and suck my thumb. I don't have much of a life besides that. Anyway, so Mike Hampsey.
Mike Hampsey, yeah.
Played a lot with Mike.
Rose, do you want this? Or do you know what we're playing? Or do you want to play it?
Either I'll Fly Away or something simple.
Okay, what key will you play on?
In G is good. Or I Saw the Light is another simple one.
Whichever.
It's okay. You're fine.
Okay. I have some lyrics.
I don't know if I'm in tune.
Okay. Are these the lyrics?
Yeah, sometimes I get nervous and I forget the words.
Me too. Okay, ready?
Let's see. So anyway, this one will go out to Mike. It's an old Hank Williams song, probably from the early 50s. Well, sunrise on when this life is over, I'll fly away. Oh, old man on God's celestial shore, I'll fly away. I've just done you more weary days than that. I'll fly away to a land where joys will never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away. Oh, glory, I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. I said, when I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
Okay, talking about flying away, it's time to take a short intermission here, so we'll be back shortly at WWCB AM 1370 Radio. Be back soon.
This will just be a quick break, so stay right here on our front porch. Right here on WWCB 1370 Kickin' Country. Thanks for sticking with us. Now let's get back to the front porch with Connie, Rose, and Margaret right here on AM 1370 Kickin' Country.
Welcome back to the front porch. We're the Front Porch Rockers, and today we have with us Howard Blumenthal and Mary Siepierski. I didn't mess it up too bad that time. Howard, what festival is coming up here pretty soon that you could refresh our memories to?
Well, let's see. July 16th is Hodafest, which is a festival that I used to be involved in, and now it's done by the Arts Council over in Titusville. That's July, well, let's see, what are the dates? David Bromberg's going to be there on July 16th, but that's not actually the weekend of the festival.
Now, where exactly is Hodafest held at?
Well, it's downtown Titusville. Titusville.
Pitt University.
No, it's not at the university. It's in the downtown area nowadays.
This will be the first year it's in downtown area, right?
Yeah, so they've changed it around a little bit.
Yeah, and HOTA stands for Heart of the Alleghenies.
Well, it used to stand for Heart of the Alleghenies, and then
Doesn't anymore?
they picked it up in Titusville, and now it stands for Heart of the Arts.
Oh, okay.
So,
Heart of the Arts.
Yeah.
Like that.
So there's some good performers. Tom Paxton is going to be there.
Yes.
Kathy Fink, Marcy Marks are going to be there. That's banjo and singing. Rachel Eddy, she'll be there up from West Virginia.
Mary, are you going to be there?
I'll be there. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Also some local people, Todd Crowley, Drew Danielson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know those guys. And
We jam with them every Tuesday night.
yeah. So, looks like my name's on there too, but they haven't got a hold of me yet. Maybe this is last year. So anyway, yeah, that's Hodafest coming up in third weekend in July, and then Mary and I will be going down south for Cliff Top, and then at the end of August is Crook Farm Festival in Bradford. And you mentioned something about Cambridge Springs has already passed.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so Mary, I saw you talked about tuning your banjo.
Yeah, banjos, it is the one drawback. They can be kind of cantankerous. They're actually tuned to an open chord generally. So, well, it's specific to clawhammer banjo. I guess bluegrass people just play out of the same tuning on their banjos, which seems bizarre to me. But with old-time banjo, I have to retune between keys. So when we're playing in a key, we tend to stick to a key for a while, so I don't have to spend all night tuning. I do use a capo, and it helps some, but yeah, I spend a lot of my life tuning this thing.
A lot of the Southern old-time fiddlers also tune their fiddles to it.
Really?
Yeah.
a D or an A or whatever. So and it makes the fiddle sound different. It sort of resonates.
The advantage is having as many open strings as possible. The more open strings you have that you aren't fretting with your left hand, the more kind of vibrant and ringy the instrument sounds, which is the sound we're going for in music.
Wow.
So
Well, okay, let's hear
We'll
something.
play the notes on the banjo one
Okay.
at a time there.
right now I'm tuned in D, so I'm in A, D, A, B.
Right. So
And
when
that's
you
not an
strum
open
it,
chord, but just
Got
one
one.
finger, and that's an open chord. So, you want to
Uh,
Julianne Johnson?
Juliana Johnson. Yeah. Okay. One more.
Wow. Did we hear you play the mandolin?
Not much.
Well, you want to play it again?
So on the mandolin is, I think of it more of as a rhythm instrument. Like you can play the melody, the fiddle tunes, and I played guitar for 10 years, and I played in a bluegrass band. We had a great fiddler, and I just wanted to do that. So, but I was afraid of the fiddle because it didn't have frets.
Oh.
So I thought, well, the way to start then is the mandolin because the strings are tuned the same. And I can learn all the fiddle tunes. So the first fiddle tune I learned was Gal I Left Behind. Basically just goes up and down the G scale.
Oh.
And Howard's got a great mandolin. It's made by a local guy, right? Somewhat local.
Lou Stiver, he's from Polk, Pennsylvania. He's been making instruments since the late 70s. He's in his middle 70s right now. So, but yeah, this one was made in 1982.
Beautiful.
Mike Hampsey had one of these too. It's really a great mandolin. It's got a good sound. So let's see, what are we in?
We're in D, so
G.
no, we're in D. So maybe Johnny Don't Get Drunk.
Yeah, okay, I don't know.
Oh yeah. This is a Pennsylvania tune. An
Here's
old
a
fife
Pennsylvania.
tune.
All right, here we go. Well, okay, there's a little bit of a story behind this. This is a fife tune from the Civil War.
Oh.
And the name of the tune, don't laugh, is Old Piss. And the reason it's called that is because there was a general named Pisticelli, and his troops loved him. So they wrote him a fife tune. And they called him Old Piss as an affectionate, name,
Yeah.
right? So that's the name of this tune. It's called Old Piss. a Pennsylvania tune, and we'll be featuring Pennsylvania tunes at the Crook Farm Festival this year.
Well, Mary, I don't want to say anything to hurt your feelings or anything, but I can't help but see you really get into your music. You kicked your shoes off and you're barefoot.
Well, what else you do on a porch?
That's
right.
It's something about the banjo that makes my jaw go slack and shoes come off. So.
And that's how you can tell the porch is level, because she's drooling out of both sides of her mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Banjos are like the butt of a lot of jokes.
I know that.
What's the difference between a banjo and a Harley?
We don't know.
You can tune a Harley. Yes. There's a lot more where that came from.
You
But
know
I don't want
that-
to embarrass me.
You know there's a banjo player at your door when the knocking gets louder and faster over time.
Yeah.
Well, I do love the banjo.
I love this banjo in particular. A good friend of mine made this. I met him at a festival, and he was playing this banjo. It was a fretless banjo, and it was just beautiful. I was like, wow, that's a great banjo. Where'd you get that? And he's like, I made it. His name was
Wow.
Matt Lackey, and it was the first banjo he'd ever made. And so I asked him to make one for me. So he made me this one, and I got cat paw on the 7th fret just because I love cats.
Yeah.
And not like everyone keeps asking me if I'm a Clemson fan. I don't even know what Clemson is. So,
I think it's a sports team.
I guess so, yeah.
Clemson
It's
is a
beautiful.
college in Georgia.
And their mascot is?
Cat.
the tiger paw.
Right.
Yeah.
This
so.
is not a tiger. It's
This
just
is a
little
house cat paw. You can tell by the size. It's pretty, it's a house cat. Your standard long-haired, short-haired variety.
Now, what kind of banjo is that again?
South Carolina.
It's just an open back 5-string banjo, made by my friend Matt Lackey down in North Carolina.
I thought you said something about claw.
I'm
that's the
playing
style?
a claw hammer banjo. So.
See,
That's the
I
style.
thought that was
That's
a
the
claw
style.
on the neck of it.
Oh, no, that's just a cat paw. The claw refers to my hand. So when I'm playing, I keep my hand in kind of a C shape with my fingers opposing my thumb. And the thumb kind of drones on this top string.
It's the method that her fingers brush the string.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's all downstrokes, and I've got to grout this nail to be my pick.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
Hard on your
the
nail
claw.
polish.
Yeah, I can't wear nail polish anymore. Sacrifices for the
Yes.
music, I suppose.
So let's have another mandolin song.
Boy.
Well, you can play the violin instead if you'd like.
What else we got, Mary? We could do You're in G or You're in D?
We're in D. I mean, we could do like Angelina Baker. Or
Okay.
something. That's in D, right? Wait, why don't you kick it off? I think that you played in G.
Oh, I'm in the wrong key.
Yeah, that's alright. Let's pick an actual D tune.
Oh, we're gonna have to cut that part out.
Yeah,
Okay.
Just start over again. No, just start over again. No, that's it. What are we doing?
Ah.
Front porch.
Yeah. This is just the front porch.
What about Snake River? Let's play Snake River
Okay.
instead. Wait, how does that one go again?
I can start it. I'll play it on the fiddle.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do Bill.
All right. This tune's called Snake River Reel.
river reel, is that kind of like a Virginia reel?
Oh yeah, you can do a Virginia reel. That would be a dance that would go really well with a tune like that. Sure, any square dance, contra dance. The dances are, that's the form of the fiddle tune is 32 bars. Usually there's an A part, which is 8 bars repeated, so the A part is 16 bars, and the B part is 16 bars. So usually when the tune comes around, if you're playing for contra dances, the dance comes around also. So the dancers kind of can hear the music and know what to be doing. When you're on the A part of the tune, you're on the A part of the dance. That kind of thing. So this music really came from early dancing tradition. Folk dancing, square dancing, contra dancing.
It's made to be danced to.
Yep. Tap your toes.
We do tap our toes. It's lovely.
Do you have another song for us that we'd like to hear?
All right, let's see. Should we switch keys? Do you want to do something in A? Do you want to go to A and do Tipping Back the Corn?
All right.
Okay. Just give me a minute here.
We're good. No, we're good. The other guests haven't showed up, so we got time for one more song, and then we can wrap it up after this.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. Well, it's going to take a little bit to tune.
Okay.
Is that, let's see, tip back the corner. Oh, that's not it. It's tipping back the corn. What would that signify?
Some kind of
Corn liquor, get it?
Oh.
Moonshine.
moonshine. Okay. Tipping
So-
back the corn.
This is a drinking song.
Yes, it is. Ready?
Fun. That was a fun song.
Well, thank you so much for having us on our show. On your shows, it's been so much fun.
Well, we appreciate
Nice view you have from your front porch here.
Yes,
It's just
yes.
lovely. Look out
Well,
over
you
the
know,
cornfield.
as the sun is setting, if you listen, you'll be able to hear the frogs croaking
Yeah,
and the
really.
birds are tweeting out there.
Yeah. It's good we got a good day for it.
Yes. it's a lovely
Well,
day.
I'll tell you what, back here 2 years ago Easter, sitting here on the front porch, right up this long driveway here to the feeder in the backyard, I had to call my friend Rose and tell her I was home alone on the front porch and there was a black bear
Mm-hmm.
knocking down all my bird feeders, and then it turned around and headed towards her house. She says, do you want me to get in the car and come over there and get you? I said, no, I want you to stay right where you are. I just want to make sure that the cat's in the house.
Well, thank you for being here, Howard and Mary, today.
That was a lot of fun. Thanks
We
for asking.
appreciate your information that you so graciously shared with all of us. And
Well, I hope I can encourage more people just to
Yes.
pick up an old guitar, an old fiddle, and just try it out. Just do it. And
Definitely.
find some people that you can play with that are non-threatening, people that won't judge you, and just people that you can have fun playing with. And you're never too old to do it.
thank you
Well-
for the encouragement.
This is the end of our session today. We're here at WWCB Radio AM 1370. Howard, why don't you leave us with a little bit of music as we say goodnight?
Soldiers, are we in, what key are we in? We're in A.
Or A.
Good night, folks. We're going to enjoy the music. See you next time round.
Well, that wraps up this episode of The Front Porch. We're mighty thankful you stopped by. The Front Porch was hosted by Connie, Rose, and Margaret, and they're sure going to miss you till next week. Make sure you like Kickin' Country 1370 on Facebook, and don't forget to check out our website, wwcbradio.com. The Front Porch is recorded and produced by Kevin Thomas exclusively on AM 1370 WWCB Kickin' Country.